There comes a moment in every pursuit when effort begins to blur into exhaustion. When the same drive that once gave us purpose begins to quietly drain the peace it promised to deliver. We tell ourselves that we must keep going, that if we just try harder, push longer, fight more, the result will come. And yet, in the quiet after all that striving, something within us whispers, perhaps it isn't only about doing more. Perhaps the real art of progress lies in knowing when to stop reaching and start allowing. Most of us live suspended between two instincts, the need to control and the desire to trust. From the time we're young, we're taught that effort is everything, that success, peace, and meaning are earned through persistence. We learn to measure our worth by how hard we work, how much we endure, how long we can keep pushing against resistance. But somewhere along the way, the line between discipline and desperation begins to fade. We chase progress the way a clenched hand tries to hold water, tighter, harder, until all that remains is emptiness and fatigue. We set goals, chase milestones, and force timelines, believing that surrender is a form of weakness, that rest equals laziness. And so we push even when our hearts grow heavy. We run even when the path no longer feels right. We keep going because stopping feels like failure. But deep inside, something aches. A quiet question rises. If effort alone could bring peace, why do so many who strive the hardest feel the most restless? There's a reason for this tension. The human mind is wired to seek control. Effort gives us direction. It makes us feel capable, secure, significant. But life is not a straight road built from our intentions. It's a river that bends through forces beyond our design. Psychologically, we fear surrender because it feels like losing agency. We fear letting go of control because it exposes us to uncertainty, to the possibility that what we want may not unfold as we imagined. And yet, this very fear blinds us to one of the quietest truths of growth, that some of the most profound changes happen not through striving, but through stillness. Think of the seed. It doesn't grow because it fights the soil. It grows because it yields to it. It breaks, softens, and allows the unseen work of darkness to transform it from within. Its surrender is not defeat, it is trust in a process greater than itself. In the same way, our effort prepares the ground, but surrender allows the growth to take root. Without effort, there is no movement. Without surrender, there is no harmony. True progress begins when we realize that effort and surrender are not opposites, they are partners. Effort is the language of action. Surrender is the language of faith. Together, they form the rhythm of real growth. There is a kind of strength that lives in softening. It's the strength of the ocean, powerful yet willing to yield. The waves crash, but the tide always returns to calm. In this space between doing and allowing, something sacred happens. We stop forcing life to fit our image, and start noticing how life is quietly shaping us instead. We begin to see that the outcomes we once tried to control are not the point. The transformation happening within us is. When we balance effort with surrender, our work no longer comes from fear of failure, but from trust in timing. We act without anxiety. We move without hurry. We give our best, and then let the rest unfold in its own rhythm. That is not apathy. It's awareness. It's the maturity of realizing that what's meant for you will require your participation, but never your panic. In daily life, this balance reveals itself in small, almost invisible ways. It's in the student who studies with focus, but releases the need to control the outcome of every test. It's in the parent who gives their all to guide their child, but accepts that love cannot shield them from every mistake. It's in the artist who creates without fear of perfection, trusting that expression matters more than applause. It's in the person praying, not to change life's direction, but to find peace within it. Surrender is not giving up, it is giving space. It's allowing what is already in motion to breathe, to find its form. It's understanding that rest is part of rhythm, and that silence is not absence but renewal. When we learn to dwell in this space, between effort and surrender, we begin to experience life differently. We stop moving from anxiety and start moving from alignment. We work with the world, not against it. The mind becomes quieter. The heart grows steadier. We realize that we are not meant to wrestle life into submission, but to walk with it, step by step, breath by breath. And in this gentler pace, we find something that striving could never give us: clarity. The kind that arises not from control, but from connection. Because the truth is, life has its own intelligence. Sometimes what feels like delay is protection. Sometimes what feels like loss is redirection. And sometimes what we call surrender is the beginning of deeper trust. When we let go of needing to force the path, we begin to see the quiet beauty of how far we've already come. There is a peace that comes only when we stop fighting the rhythm of life. When effort meets surrender, motion becomes grace, and growth becomes natural. The seed, the tide, the breath, all remind us, to live fully is not to push against time, but to move with it. To do what we can, and then allow what we cannot. Between effort and surrender lies the quiet space where life unfolds as it was always meant to.